Hey guys, how's it going? I'm sorry, but I need to road rage to you right now for a few minutes, because if I don't road rage to you, I'm going to road rage to the road and the other drivers that are on the road, because I can't take it anymore. And I know that is not a good thing. I do not support actual literal road rage. So I'm going to road rage in my car to my camera and you guys. So how about that? So I'm on a 2-lane highway. The left lane is for passing, which means that if there is someone behind you who needs to go faster than you, get out of the way. Oh my gosh. Get out of the way. It's almost like the drivers in front of me often, and I see it happen with other drivers as well. They feel like, well, I'm already going above the speed limit, because you know everybody does, okay? I mean, this isn't like brand new information. The speed limit is, you know, whatever it is, and people typically drive 5 to, I don't know, 15 miles an hour over that speed limit, especially when there's not a lot of cars on the road, because I'm going to a somewhat remote area. And you all know you don't all, well, maybe not every one of you, but many of you do not stop at the speed limit. This is not the way the world works, especially when the speed limit is set so low. Okay, anyway, that's a judgment on my part. I don't make the laws. Anyway, when the entire flow of traffic is going faster, and most especially when you're in the left lane, it's as if some people think, not you, look, can you see I'm like so upset that I can't even choose my pronouns correctly. It's as if some people think, well, I'm already going a little bit above the speed limit, and so I'm not doing any more. Well, you're not in charge of me, and I and a number of other drivers who are climbing up my own ass in my truck, we want to be going a little bit faster than you. And so you need to move over. If you want to come back into the lane because you feel like there's nobody else behind, you know, nobody else in that lane that needs to go any faster, that's fine. But when we are lining and stacking up behind you, get out of the way. I've tried flashing my lights. Apparently people don't understand that this is the universal signal for get out of the way. And it's a very kind and gentle way to say, hey buddy, can I, excuse me? It's like an excuse me. It is like the electrical version of an excuse me. You know, instead of tapping somebody on the shoulder or whispering, you know, slightly behind their ear, which like I said in my last vlog, I've got partial hearing loss in my right ear. So if you were to hit me in my right ear, I'm not going to hear it. So, you know, move to the left. But anyway, it's like a light version of an excuse me. So you flash your lights. Many people apparently where I live do not seem to understand this concept, and they do not get out of the way. And I have to tell you honestly, like most of the time I'll go around and I'll pass in the right lane, which is also like illegal. You're not supposed to and unsafe, because you're not supposed to pass on the right side. But I'm just like, listen, you gotta, there's etiquette on the road. Oh, and what I was about to say was, most of the time I do pass because I'm afraid that the person, after I've flashed you, if I get a little bit more aggressive to get out of my way, I'm afraid they're gonna have a gun. I'm afraid they're gonna shoot me. And that is not something that I need on my way to work. And these are the things that which is just, now oh my God, I can't even speak. Which you would know by now if you've been watching me, you know, speak for the last 2 years. That is pretty hard to accomplish when I don't even have appropriate and correct words to say in reference to one of my topics. But I mean, that's where we're at. You can't get out of the way in the lane because you're going too slow, and I have to be concerned that you might shoot me. So, you know, I mean, and that's not a laughing matter. I don't mean to make that sound as if that's funny. It's just, I hear myself say it out loud, and it just seems so ridiculous and so far beyond the scope of what it should be, you know. And so anyway, I had to let that out because my blood pressure is high this morning, because I'm like, it happened frequently this morning, and it wasn't even just me. I've been watching other drivers get frustrated. It's as if people think that they're entitled to be able to do whatever, you know, do whatever they please. And I just feel like we're people. We have to live together on this planet. So why are we not at least trying to make it easier for each other? I feel like so many times you hear about so many, whatever it is, news stories. And there was a period of time where I stopped watching the news because it really was just all negativity and all examples of how human beings are just kind of being awful to each other. And I watch the news now again because I realized I was missing out on pretty significant things. But as I was saying, we all have to live here. You don't even have to go out of your way and be extra super nice to people. Like, I'm not even looking for that. I'm just looking for us to just like be a human being. Just like be neutral. Don't be a shithead, and don't be, you know, don't be a saint or anything. Like, I have no expectation of that. I just want everybody to get along. And if it just means doing the most basic, you know, courteous, you know, just neutral behavior, I'm fine with that. I will accept that any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But this stupid thing with, you know, the way we're just as a society that we're fighting each other all the time. And I see it now in politics too. And I'm not going to talk about politics, but what I'm saying is a very neutral statement in that I've never seen all the political lines like fight with each other so much. Maybe I haven't been alive long enough and watching politics long enough, but everybody is constantly trying to get in everybody else's way and trying to one up the other one. And I'm like, you people are going to accomplish nothing. And this has been going on for a little while now. And I am not even taking a political side. And it's just another example. I mean, if the government is going to be on the news and constantly like demonstrating this sort of behavior, well, no wonder why us normal non-political people are having trouble getting along as well. I mean, it used to be such a cliche and such a joke to say, why can't everybody just get along? And now I'm stepping away from politics. I'm just talking about people in general. But why can't we just get along? But it really is just kind of representative of just kind of the way I feel like society is behaving right now. Like, there's this just like tremendous sense of entitlement. And I actually, that's a dirty word. I don't even like that word. You know, and I was thinking, well, are we entitled to anything? And my initial reaction was no, you're not entitled to anything, especially if you're an asshole. You know, so, and then I thought more about it, and I've decided that, well, as human beings, yes, you are entitled to the basics. You're entitled to water, and you're entitled to food. And I'm going to add shelter to that, but I'm not going to be specific about what I mean by shelter, but you are entitled to shelter. I'm also going to add safety. I believe that you should be entitled to safety as well. And if there's anything you'd like to add to that list that is really compelling like that, please do leave it in the comment section down below, because those were the things I came up with though. Food and water, shelter, and safety. And I don't know, we've developed ourselves into a society where we feel like we're entitled to so much more. Are you entitled to respect? That's a debatable point. So many people feel like they are entitled to respect when they're not equally giving it out. And I honestly feel like you do need to earn respect. And yet at the same time, how are we ever even possibly trying to teach this to our children and to the young people in the world, and quite frankly to other adults who don't seem to understand the concept, when we have something in the world like, just for example, the British monarchy, which on the one hand honestly is fascinating and it's historical and it's interesting, but on the other hand I'm like, really? Everything you have right now is because of your birthright. You have power because of your birthright. And that opens that whole other door to, you know, differences, you know, between races, because different races have different levels of power simply because of your birthright. And I feel like even though we don't call it entitlement, it is entitlement. And well, maybe we do call it entitlement. But how did that even happen? We are a logical society. And, well, at least I thought so. We are a logical world, because I don't even believe it to be isolated to the United States. We are an entire planet of very educated people. Because honestly, sometimes the people that have more education are the ones who are acting and behaving more entitled. So you can't even say that you don't even know any better. You should know better. And yet we still choose to function as a world, or as a country, or as a species, where things that you were born with are equated to things that should instead be earned, you know. And honestly, I feel like we need to get rid of the monarchies and the kings and the queens and stuff, because right there, that is like the textbook definition of, you know, what would be just a very bad example, or actually a very good example of how your birthright grants you certain things. I have a ton of respect for people who earn what they have, or what they've achieved. You know, people who struggle through school and, you know, are able to better themselves. And I know that is a complicated issue as well, because what resources are available to you or to someone else, or that are not available to someone else. But I think we can and I know that is a very complicated issue, but I think we can very easily be able to very quickly place blame and say, well, I didn't have the resources, or I didn't, you know, have the opportunities maybe that someone else was entitled to. And I think we need to take more responsibility for that. And yes, that will make it harder for some people versus others to, let's say, accomplish exactly the same thing. But maybe that shouldn't be our goal. Maybe our goal should always be to just better ourselves from where we are, irregardless of what resources are available to us. Because there are definitely many stories of people who had nothing and no resources, and were able to, through grit and just pure determination, be able to, you know, better their lives. And again, let me just put it out there that I don't think anything in this world is absolute. And so anytime I make any kind of generic or general statement like that, I do not believe it to ever be 100%. But I do believe that if we begin removing the responsibility from what it is around us and transfer it to, you know, what it is inside of us, I think we have the potential to be capable of tremendous things. And so going back originally to the idea of are we entitled to anything, I think that's a very dangerous perspective to have personally, because I think it just opens the door to too many situations where it can lead you down the wrong path. And I feel like if you come from the perspective of being entitled to nothing aside from those 4 things that I mentioned initially, and then maybe you guys have some really good stuff to add to that. But if you come from the position that you are not entitled to anything, I think that might create the drive within you to achieve so much more. I think it's interesting. I specifically did not include happiness in something that we are entitled to. And I've spoken in a previous vlog about how I really believe that we choose our happiness. I will link that if I can find the actual vlog where I discuss that. But I do believe that happiness oftentimes is a choice. But at the same time, we're not merely entitled to happiness. We are entitled to the pursuit of happiness. You are entitled to be able to find your happiness. You're not automatically just entitled to happiness. And I think that often can be a misconception. And I guess to you guys, I'm just asking the questions because I'm not even sure I know. And so I would love to hear your comments just about entitlement and where you think our society is going, or where you think the world is going. And P.S. I got up in the middle of the night when William and Catherine, or Kate Middleton, got married. I absolutely loved watching the royal wedding, and so I buy into it as well. But I don't really know if there is a definitive answer. And so like I said, I would love to know what your thoughts and comments are. I am much calmer after my road rage. And so if you like these kinds of discussions and these kind of chit-chatty vlogs that I'm doing, please definitely give me the feedback and give this video a thumbs up. But like I said, please don't forget to leave a comment down below, because I love putting these sorts of thoughts out there. And I think, as I was saying, my road rage has subsided because I talked about instead things that were frustrating in society and in our world. But I do love chatting with you guys, and so I am in a much better place right now. So I appreciate all of your help. And I'll catch you again later. We're at Sesame Place today, and I am super excited because I'm about to get on the carousel. I've already picked out my horse. We've decided that he looks like he's got the expression that one of the other horses pooped, because he's got this look on his face that's kind of saying, hey, who did that? It wasn't me. But I don't think it's been, I mean, it's been like more than 20 years since I've been on a carousel. This should be very exciting for me. I am not in my happy place right now because I did not get the horse that I wanted. And I made a look desperately trying not to throw a temper tantrum, but I'm pretty jealous of everyone else. Hi. Oh, I do? She just told me I have to take my seatbelt. We have to put the seatbelt on.
Get your seatbelt on. Whoops.
Put on a seatbelt. I'm going to be 40 years old. Right now, because this right here, I'm telling you, it's a death trap. Does something smell around here? It wasn't me. I think it was the other guy. So there's Elmo hanging out, and they're watering Elmo, the Elmo in foliage, and my husband pointed out that he's representative of all of us, sweating in the heat. I see Cookie Monster over there, and I really want to wait in line and go take a picture with him. I'm gonna be 40. Oh my God, no, forget it, because there's Bert and Ernie. Maybe I should pass on Cookie Monster and go hook up with Bert and Ernie.
That was Super Grover. Yeah.
No, all of the characters are superheroes. Hey, buddy. Hey, do you have a cape on?
Let me see your
Can I see your cape? Marco, can you turn around? No, we're looking at the car. Who's on your cape?
Who's on your cape?
All right, come on.
Come on.
We need to cool down.
Cookie Monster. Come. Sorry.
There it is. Oh, forget it. Now, that's it. Now I'm on like stimulation overload. It was my hero, Oscar the Grouch. Uh-oh. That was kind of sad. Marco just got drive-by'd. By Bert. Marco, did you have a good time in the water?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Did you go down the slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get splashed?
Made a big.
Are you having a good time at Sesame Street? All right, give me 5. Yeah, good job, good job. Okay, so we're at the parade, and I am completely busting a move with the Sesame Street characters. Say goodbye to Sesame Place. So cute.